Foundation Course Kabbalah, Part 1, Lesson 16. Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. In the former version of tests, we used a lot of Hebrew terminology. In a way, terminology isn't the right word. Hebrew is a code, the language of the Kabbalah. Slowly you will know it by heart, not simply by learning it with your head, but through recognizing, and recognizing will be there by reading this again and again. You will become used to these words, and soon you will recognize them. The most important thing is your attitude. The learning of the material is secondary. You can find this in tests. The most important thing to know is that while you're reading, make yourself small, humble, receivable. And this is the most difficult part. Why? Because your ego doesn't let you go. It holds tight to your pride. Don't say too soon, but I'm humble and modest. We all lack humbleness and modesty. What are the basic ideas of Kabbalah? There are three elements in the creation: what exists in the universe and what is happening. We can bring this back to three basic elements. Boreh, the only creating strength. Nivra, the creation. Masach, the screen. Let us begin with the word Boreh. In Kabbalistic language, we use this word for the creator. It is very important to make use of the Hebrew words, and the word Boreh is a very good example. Boreh is a participle. Therefore, it should be better to translate this word as in a process, meaning while the process of creating is taking place. Because it isn't a verb, but not a person is meant. But here we see the process of creating. So from now on, I will use this word instead of the one creating strength, Boreh. And opposite Boreh, we have the creation, and the Hebrew word for creation is Nivra. And Nivra also is a participle. So in this word, we see the process also. Therefore, when we speak about the creation or about the creating strength, we see Boreh opposite the Nivra. In Kabbalah, we put elements that are qualitative opposite each other. For example, you can compare a hand only with another hand. One hand may be bigger and another smaller, but it stays a hand. And you can't compare a hand with, for example, feet. It is the same here. We always look to the elements that are corresponding. Boreh, creator. Nivra, creation. When we speak about light, in a way we make use of the word Boreh. Everything comes from Boreh, and the Hebrew word for light is Or. Therefore, we are going to use more and more the word Or. What comes from Boreh is Or, light, or in other words, delight. All the delight we receive comes from above. The opposite Or, light, we have Kli. And when we use the word Kli, we refer to he who receives. But we can say instead of Kli, wish. The wish is the receiver. The Hebrew word for wish is ratzon. And this word we often see in tests also. Wish is the receiver of the light, Or. Wish means shortness. There is shortness for the filling, and the filling is Or, and the wish is Ratzon. We start with a few words, but by using them we reach the heart of Kabbalah. In a way, our work will be faster. All kinds of words don't confuse and effective us any longer due to the terminology coming from our language. By using words of our language, there is the danger of all kinds of interpretation. When you see the word Boreh, you don't have to think anymore it's someone who see, for example, a prophet or whatever imagines you have with the word creator. Don't think you have to throw away these images. The meaning is that you come deeper, penetrate the real meaning of a word for to reach deeper levels. It is good to come to the true meaning of the terminology. Kabbalists use the words of our language because in everything we have to see the similarity. It has to correspond, the higher with the lower. Kabbalists did make use of the words of our language to make the spiritual world more understandable. Light, Or, and opposite Or, we have wish, Kli, Ratzon. The plural of Kli is Kelim, and the plural of Ratzon is Retzonot. Don't get confused. Don't think, oh, now I have to learn Hebrew words. You will learn, but another way than you think, because we don't make use of the intellectual learning. When two people are sitting next to each other, and one is a professor and the other is a carpenter, of course the professor will learn faster the terminology, because he's an intellectual. With less effort, he will learn and makes use of the Hebrew words with his intellectual mind. He has developed a system of thinking, and this he's putting opposite Boreh. He protects himself against Boreh. Between him and Boreh is his thinking. The thinking he has developed during many years, and this intellectual thinking replaces Boreh. While the carpenter, for him it is difficult to remember these words. He isn't as educated as the professor. His language won't be so profound, and maybe it is difficult for him to learn these words, but the positive side of this is he will feel and will have the taste for the spiritual far easier. You have to know, Boreh doesn't make any difference between people. For him, all people are equal, and all of them can and will be capable to learn the spiritual. Isn't this marvelous? Therefore, everyone is welcome to come to learn Kabbalah. I never ask, what is your education? It isn't important. What you need is the deep wish for the spiritual. You need to be aware of your goal, considering the creation. This is important and nothing else. So it is possible. One understands very quick, and this may be the reason for another person to feel himself as stupid. But you have to know, he who is intellectual and understands things very easy won't be better in the spiritual, because the spiritual has nothing to do with the intellectual understanding. He can learn it by heart. He can learn the language perfectly, and at the same time feel nothing. Be aware of this. You will learn by repeating and by way of feeling. Table. Right side. Or, delight. Middle. Kilim. Nivra. Creation. Left side. Boreh. Creator. In this figure, we see the creator Boreh, the creation Nivra, and the delight Or. This is what is given to us. Opposite the delight, we have suffering. There is suffering due to the lacking of pleasure. Suffering is the lacking of pleasure. A little child can suffer because another child has taken away his toy. This is his suffering. The third element is Masach. Literally, Masach means screen. Between Boreh and Nivra, between all kinds of varieties. There has to be Masach according to the instruction, the laws of the universe. Masach is screen, but what does this mean? Above the awareness, organs of a human being, man has to make, by way of his efforts, a kind of a filter. In a way, the Masach has something to do with willpower. Man needs his willpower for it to come in conformity with the qualities of Boreh, with the spiritual, with the never-ending strength. How can one come to this agreement? Only by way of willpower, and this gives us a new question. How do we get willpower? By coming more and more in unity to victory over the self-love. But to have victory over our self-love, we need strength, power, and the result of this power is the victory. And this strength is named Masach. First, we see a screen, the system of filtering, so now we can, by way of this system, come in contact with Boreh, with our inner higher step. We can go from below to above. We have already talked about Man, our request from below. And by way of this system of filtering, the Masach from above will come to below, the Mad. Mad is the abundance, and he who did arouse the Man will receive this abundance, the Mad. Masach is within the creature, the Nivra. But Boreh has Masach too. The plural of Masach is Masachim. Boreh is a synonym for light, or for the Ein Sof, the everlasting love. And the wish, Ratzon, of Boreh is that we, the creation, Nivra, will receive his light, or because it is his Ratzon, man would receive Or. He made the Kli and the Ratzon within man. Therefore, Boreh coarsened the light, Or. This coarsening of the light, Or, all these levels of coarsening, is also named Masachim, the plural of Masach. Considering the creation, Nivra, it is Masachim, but considering Boreh, it is Masach. The worlds are Kilim, the formed Kilim. Kilim is the coarsening of the light, Ein Sof. The Hebrew word of the world is Olam, and the plural is Olamot. Every wish, every world, every step is a coarsening of the light and is named world olam. We can say a kli that is in conformity with the light or is world olam. And between the light and the kli, we have the masachim. A masach is like a screen, a kind of a filter system, for to give the kli the opportunity to receive the light or. And within every world, olam, we have partzufim. The meaning of the word partzuf is face. Partzufim is plural, and partzuf is singular. It is the same as in our world. We can see in someone's face if he can receive the light or not. When someone's face is darkness, he doesn't receive the light, or he isn't aware of the light. But when a face is shining, the light has been received and experienced. From the Ein Sof to our world, the world where we see the human race, between the Ein Sof and our world, there are 5 worlds. At least 5 worlds that are important for us. But a lot more worlds are in between. And another name for these worlds is steps, or in Hebrew, madrigot. Madriga is singular and madrigot is plural. The subject of our study is these 5 worlds, although the last 4 worlds are the main subject of our study. They are in a way our kilim, the coarsening of the light Ein Sof. We are studying these worlds for to make ourselves receivable, so now we can receive the light or. We have discussed 3 elements and there is nothing else in the universe. Every event, every wish, all the people that were, are, and will be, are to be analyzed by way of these 3 elements. The creator, boreh, screen, masach, creation, nivra. And this is what we are going to learn, how these worlds, olamot, are working. And between the olamot, we have the kilim, or partzufim. And the creation, nivra, is in need of the kilim. Otherwise, how could they receive the light? Whatever takes place around or within you, it is all about for to come to the experience. We can't come to the understanding why things are happening as they are happening without experience. We need our reaction to certain events for to come to understanding. Tomorrow you're reading the paper and there is a message that touches you. Then you start making projections, images as a reaction of what you just had read. We hear something about a certain event and we feel if the event had happened to us, but we hear or read it is always secondhand. It is coming from another source. Are you really capable to know what really happened? We can't. We only have our reaction, and what are the leftovers shouldn't have our interest, because the essence we never will know. I only have my reaction on the event. Our kli doesn't know either what it is because it is formed by the light or. First, there was the light Ein Sof, and by the way of coarsening the light had formed a kli. And slowly, by way of all the coarsening of the light, there was the kli. And the kli could only come to existence through the masach. Masach is a counterforce because there is some resistance. And by way of this resistance, the light, Ein Sof, could coarsen itself. Don't make the mistake to think the light in itself was coarsened. No, the Ein Sof, wherever it is, shines on the same way, even here on earth. We're the one who aren't capable to see him, to experience the source in his true self. We only can experience him by way of his coarsening. But it is written in the Zohar, concealing is revealing. By way of the concealing, we come to the revealing, and from this we need the screen, masach. There is no other way for to come to the experience of the light. All the creatures here on earth, including the humankind, have a minimum of his light of maintenance. You can compare this with a candle and the sunlight on a sunny day. The difference is huge. There are people who experience the light as a candle, and it doesn't matter how important or how rich you are. One can be the greatest scientist. If he experiences little light, it is the experience of a candle. And another person, it doesn't matter what or who he is, when he feels a light, the pleasure in his striving, he experiences the light as the light of the sun. Know that every living creature here on earth has the minimum of light given to him through the boreh. Man can receive what is given to him for him to receive, but to come to the receiving of the light, he has to make the masach. Only by way of the masach, by the building up of the masach, man can come to the receiving of the light. We don't need something else. only the Masach, and this is the main subject of the Kabbalah. Let us look at this step by step. Above us we have the light. We are here below, and between us and the light we have the Masach, the screen. What is coming from above is the light or. There are many varieties of the light, but we will discuss this later. And here below we have the Kli, the wish to receive. And in between we have the Masach. The Kli can't receive the light or as long as there is no Masach. In a way you can see the Masach as an intermediary. Look to the history or whatever religion. Always we see the figure of an intermediary. These people had built up in themselves the screen Masach and passed the receiving on to the Kli, to the people, the wishes of the people. They passed on the light because man wasn't capable to do this on his own, but now they could receive it through the intermediary, the prophet who had built up in him the Masach. It is very important for you to know a prophet only received the light or because he had built up his Masach. He had made himself receivable for the light. He did his own spiritual work. He builds up the whole system of Masachim. All the counter force he had built up in himself, he gave it to the people, to the Kli. And the people, the Kilim, could receive. But in a way they were so ignorant. And because they were so ignorant, they counted on that one person, the prophet, or nowadays they are counting on a rabbi or on someone who has charisma. They see in him the light. But you, who are learning the Kabbalah, you come to learning to build up your independent system of Masachim and no longer be dependent of whatever intermediary there is. The danger of an intermediary is creating of a group spirit. But we have come in this time, and this is the time of the ending. Each one of us can build up by way of his own strength, his own system of Masachim. We don't need an intermediary, no rabbi, prophet, or God appointed by they who were ignorant. Each person, independently and independent no matter how smart he is, can come to the receiving of the light by way of his own system. Isn't this marvelous? No matter who or what he is, he can receive the light. Do you see how generous the light is? In the eyes of Boreh, there is no exception. We are all his sons. Absolutely each one of us. Every living creature living here on earth is his son. Not only the Jews or the Muslims or the Christians, everyone. And when a Jewish person doesn't build up his Masach, he isn't named the son of the Creator. Only in the Zohar we can read this, not in the traditional Jewish teachings or anywhere else, only in the Zohar. A religious person says, gosh, God is so far away, he is so high and I'm so small. Or one says, I don't need this, I don't have to build up the Masach. Of course I do believe, but to build up a relation with the Creator, I build up my own Creator, my own light or. From now on, I'm going to use more and more the Hebrew words and not the words of our earthly understanding, because the earthly words are connected with the earthly stories. Or he says, I can't need the contact with Boreh, why should I? I already have contact with the story, with the Torah. Of course we know Boreh is in all the writings, in every Kabbalistic book, and in the Torah. The book of Torah is Kabbalah. Behind all those stories you can find Boreh when you work on yourself. What is the work you have to do? You have to build up the Masach. See it this way. You have the source. You have the source book. You have Tess and the Torah. And all of this is as light for you. Behind every word there is Boreh. See the text as coarsening of the light. And your work is to find out, to confront yourself with the text by reading very slowly and profound. And not only that, to be modest and humble at the same time. This is the attitude you need to build up your Masach. You need the Masach. You need the border, because the light ore has to come against the surface of your receptive organs. And the beginning of the building up of your Masach starts when you say, now I stop with the receiving. I make tzimtzum, limitation. This word tzimtzum is a very important word. Malchut. The Kli Malchut was the first one who made a tzimtzum limitation. There are two limitations in the teaching of the Kabbalah. We only make temporarily tzimtzum, but in the spiritual, in the higher, there are two limitations. One took place, the first tzimtzum, and then another one, the second tzimtzum. Tzimtzum Aleph and tzimtzum Bet. Tzimtzum Aleph was necessarily to make the limitation, tzimtzum. This is the first act. We need tzimtzum in every correction of a wish. The first inner act. How can we make the first tzimtzum? What you need is the intention. It can only be done by way of your intention. The Hebrew word for intention is kavanah. It is said in the modern Hebrew language, 70% of the words of the Torah are still used. But this isn't true. Maybe in words. Indeed, in words they use 70% of the words belonging to the holy language. But they don't use the holy words in a holy way. What makes a holy language? Or what makes a language holy? The holy intention, kavanah. And what is this holy kavanah? It is the kavanah for to give. And what they are doing is to make use of the holy language for to have small talk. It has nothing to do with the holy language, although they use this language. We make use of a code in the Kabbalah. This code comes from Abraham and Moses and other Kabbalistic who told us it is a holy language. Therefore, all these words we read, the language of the Kabbalah, we have to read them with the right intention. The holy kavanah, when it becomes a holy language, it is our intention, our kavanah, that makes it holy. And this kavanah is the spiritual movement. We are the one who make the movement. The movement in the holy is the spiritual coming, closing to the quality of the light. Or, it is coming closer between the kli and that has been created and the light or. Kli is the creation that is created for to receive, and the light or is the quality of to give. The coming closer of the kli to the light or has been brought about by way of the kavanah, the holy intention, the spiritual movement. Now you can see the way to progress. The improvement can be done only by making use of your kavanah, your intention, your kavanah, your intention. You can't buy it in a shop, nor can it be given to you by a friend as a present. It's hard work. Every day you have to have the strength for this kavanah, the kavanah that is leading you to the light or. All of us, the whole humanity, is born with the quality of to receive. We are receivers, and now you start working opposite your nature. You need the strength, the kavanah, the right kavanah, for it to come in conformity with the light or. And for this we need the right kavanah. You have to build up your kavanah for to go against your nature, the wish for to receive due to the receiving, and to come in agreement with the light or, which is eternal, unchangeable. Light is coming to us, and this light has a name too, or yashar, direct light, or the coming light. This or yashar touches that what I try to build up because of my limitation. Try to understand the meaning of limitation. For us, limitation means I have built up the strength within myself for to limit myself. We need strength for to limit ourselves. One needs strength for to say, I don't receive. I stop with the egoistic receiving. If you can say this, it means you have built up some strength. You have built up your masach, the screen above your awareness organs. I restrict myself for the coming light, the light or of the Boreh, Creator. I don't want to make use of this light in an egoistic, selfish way. Therefore, I limit myself. Now you maybe understand the word screen better because it feels if there is a screen within you. Let me give you an example. When you were young and went to a disco and danced and drank a lot of alcohol, now you're older and you have left this experience behind you. Now you can limit yourself. You don't drink at all, or maybe 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks. You don't need the whole bottle because now you know tomorrow you will have a hangover and it isn't worth it. You know how you feel tomorrow, how nasty you can be for yourself and for others. You know how depressed you will be after having too many drinks. Therefore, you can limit yourself. Now you have enough and can enjoy those 1 or 2 drinks. It is enough. You have built up a screen against the drink. You have built up a kind of a border, a point where you can say it is enough. It is the same in the spiritual. Everything comes from the spiritual. That exists. What exists comes from the same source. Or Yashar, the direct light, comes down and strikes with you against your masach, screen. When you have made a limitation, tzimtzum, or Yashar strikes to your masach. You have made a tzimtzum because you don't want to receive an egoistic way, but the Or Yashar, the wish of Or Yashar, is to penetrate you. Therefore it pushes and pushes. Each moment, every minute, it wants to penetrate you. When you wake up tomorrow, you feel Or Yashar pushing. You feel this because it is Boreh himself who wants to give us pleasure, and you have made it tzimtzum by way of your kli, your masach, not by way of boreh. It is the kli itself who wants to come in confirmation with the light or, because in the light or there is a kli and a greater pleasure, the higher existence than the wish to receive in an egoistic way. Therefore the light or wants to penetrate us, and this is what we experience every day again and again. All the suffering, all your misery comes due to the light or. The light or wants to penetrate us, and because we can't receive the light otherwise than in an egoistic way, we feel the misery, just as if we have a hangover. And when we have this feeling, we go to a psychiatrist or whatever names they give themselves. All of us experience problems. Some of us have stress, a burnout, etc. And this is due to one reason. We receive in an egoistic way, or we say, no, I don't want to receive. I have enough. I already have enough misery. And when you feel you have enough, you say no to the light. And for a change, you start drinking, blowing, smoking, etc. These are artificial limitations. Please become aware of this. One can run away to a monastery or whatever place only to escape life. One escapes because one hasn't the courage to choose for life. That's why one limits himself and becomes ill, feels distress, etc. And this is all due to the egoistic receiving. Build up your masach. Every morning when you wake up, think about your masach. Know the light or wants to penetrate you. The light or wants to give, but it is us who aren't capable to receive all the pleasure he has for us. It is my own shortness, and I try every action, every deed I want to make more intense to receive more or to receive more of the light so I can come closer to my fulfillment. That's why in the beginning people feel such an enormous pressure when they start learning the Kabbalah. But there comes a moment they can't stop. They can't run away for the spiritual. They're building up the masach more and higher and higher. One is bringing himself more in conformity with the light or, and then suddenly there is less light or. One has come outside his spiritual aura. The concentration is gone and he suffers because he can't receive. He feels the light or from the outside, but at the same time he knows the light or is there for him. The specific light or wants to penetrate his specific soul, and he knows the pressure will be less. The pressure is only there because he isn't capable to receive the light because he's still in need of correction. He feels or yashar, the direct light coming to his masach. The masach he had made by way of his tzimtzum, limitation, and now he is capable to reflect this or yashar. To reflect means he feels the light, he feels the strength, and though he doesn't let the light come in, he knows he hasn't the strength to let the light come in. This acknowledges of having no strength. The first of having no strength to receive the light or is named tzimtzum, limitation. Of course, there will raise in you a question, what is the purpose of this tzimtzum? The purpose is enormous because man is created to receive, to enjoy, and to limit himself. The Creator, Boreh, wants it. It is his wish that we will be filled with the light or completely. He wishes to fill us with light till infinity, and we only have to bring ourselves in conformity with his qualities. The first stage of the correction is making of tzimtzum, limitation, but I do this only temporarily because I haven't the strength to receive or. But although I limit myself, I receive a kind of pleasure. It is another pleasure than when I would receive the direct light or yashar. Or yashar is direct pleasure. A wonderful pleasure because it is the light of life. What comes to us comes from or yashar. We take courage from this or yashar. Or yashar only tells us something about how the light comes to us, how the light of creation comes to the kli in a direct way. But it doesn't tell us something about his quality. When we speak about quality, we talk about or chokmah. Or yashar in quality is or chokmah. Don't be afraid when you feel losing the thread. Or chokmah is the light of wisdom or life. Or chokmah is very strong and powerful and has or yashar, the direct light. But you have to know, we can't receive this light in a pure form. That's why we have to make tzimtzum. Tzimtzum means I can reflect a little bit or yashar, and that part I reflect receives a new name, or choser, the reflecting light. This means I have built up within myself the strength for not to receive or yashar. My or choser is the reaction on or yeshar. Or yeshar and or choser, they only give us the direction of the light. Or yeshar comes to us from above to below, and or choser, the reflecting light, goes from below to above. When we want to say something about the quality, we use the words or yeshar is in quality, or hasidim, light of mercy. This is the light to give. And or chokhmah is the light we have to receive. From above to below, this or chokhmah has to penetrate us. And or hasidim is the quality of the Creator Borei himself. In a way, it is his kavanah, his intention, his inner movement. All our work is to come in conformity with the qualities of Borei. He has the intention, kavanah, for to give, and we have to come instead of to be a receiving part, to become the giving too. What can we give, and how do we give? You're going to do nothing. You make tzimtzum, limitation. You give back. You give at the Creator Borei by way of your tzimtzum instead of to receive. Of course, this tzimtzum is only temporarily. It is his kavanah that we, the creation, should receive the light. And we will receive. Of course, we have to receive, but we lack the strength, therefore we have to reflect the light or yeshar. And later, when we have the strength for to receive in a proper way, with the right intention, kavanah, for to give, we can and have to receive. Do you remember the story of the host and his guest? Or Hasidim, the light of mercy, has an enormous pleasure by way of the kli that experienced the giving. It is the same as in our world. Each one of us knows how wonderful it is to give. There are people who enjoy so much the giving. They can give away everything. But as you have learned, always be alert. Alert in what? In how you give. For example, you want to give a person a very expensive present. Why do you want to give such a person an expensive present? Is it for to sweeten your ego? Be very careful. Can you give this present to someone without any meaning of the price? I mean, can you give it because it is only for to give? Only then it will be a real present, and not only for the receiver, for you too. You will receive or chasadim. When you give, always be alert. What is my intention? Kavanah. Do I give this present in an altruistic way, or is there deep within some pleasure? Am I sweetening my ego too? This is your work. This is how you build up your screen, masach. Give because it is the wish of the Creator Borei. We name this giving in the name of heaven. This means you only receive or chasidim, otherwise it will be very egoistic. First, we have tzimtzum, limitation. Accordingly, you build up your masach screen, to give for the sake of to give. What does this mean? You reflect the light. There are all kinds of steps, madrigot, in the light, all kinds of degrees of or choser, to give for the sake to give. And third phase is to come eventually to the aspect of to receive for to give. This is the stage of the altruistic receiving. Table in the written material, right side, or choser, or chasidim, light of mercy. Left side, or yeshar, or chokhmah, light of wisdom. Or yeshar, the receiving. We have the lower receiving, to receive things because we simply want to have them, mostly material things. Or choser, light of reflection, limitation. Returns as or chokhmah, to give for to give. This is an altruistic deed, but there is a higher aspect. Or chasidim, to receive for to give, altruistic giving, altruistic receiving. What we are doing is to come in conformity with the language we are going to use. Therefore, we need the right intention, kavanah, in Hebrew. Kabbalah is a holy language, and we need the right intention, the right kavanah. And this intention, kavanah, within holiness, is movement. We are making a movement within holiness. The holiness is the spiritual coming together, to come in confirmation with its qualities, for to come to the light or. The approaching between the kli, the creation that is created for to receive, and the light or, what was the quality of only giving, and this brings about by way of the kavanah, the intention, the inner movement. Now you know how you can go forward, only and exclusively by way of the kavanah. You can't go to a shop to buy 1 pound of kavanah. You have to bring up the strength for to make your own kavanah, to lead your kavanah in the direction of the light or. The whole creation is created with the quality for it to receive. We are all kilim for to receive the light. And now you're going to make yourself suitable for to receive this wonderful light or. And this work is really supernatural. We have to bring up the strength for the kavanah for it to come in conformity with the light or. The light is unchangeable, eternal. We are the one who can and have to change. We are the one who are the road, or who are on the road. Or Yashar is direct light. And this comes to you. It comes to you in what is your tzimtzum. Tzimtzum with the meaning of, I had the strength, I have limited myself. I have limited myself for not to receive in an egoistic way. This means you have, go beyond your awareness. Beyond your awareness, you have to build up the masach. And this masach withhold the light or of Boreh. Only from within you can have the feeling you have built up the masach. But of course there is the comparison with this world. When you were young and drank a lot, or in other words, you hadn't the masach, but now you have had the experience, you don't drink, or at least only a few drinks, meaning you have built up the masach for the drinking. You already had the experience, you don't need to drink. You know the taste of alcohol, and what is more, you know the effect of drinking too much. It was and isn't good for you or for your surrounding, and now you have built up the masach for alcohol. You are the one who decides where the limit is, the moment where you say it is enough. It is the same in the spiritual, because everything is coming from the spiritual. The direct light or Yashar collides against your screen masach, made by your tzimtzum. You don't receive the light, but the light wants to penetrate you. Every day you feel this. You make tzimtzum masach, and the light pushes you. It wants to penetrate you. The wish of the light is to give us pleasure. Therefore we suffer and feel unpleasant because the light wants to penetrate us. And you have limited yourself. Otherwise you receive, and when you lack the strength to receive, and when you are lacking the strength and still receive light, you have a big problem. There is a law, a universal law of ein or bli kli, meaning there is no light without kli. When there is no kli, there will be no light. The tzimtzum was there because of the kli and not because of the light or. It was the kli itself who wanted to come in conformity to the light or, because there is or within the kli. Or in the kli means a greater pleasure, a higher existence, a higher standard of the receiving, and not only the egoistic receiving. Therefore the light or tries and tries to penetrate us so we can experience this. Now we have the egoistic receiving or no receiving at all, but whatever it is you feel miserable, you suffer, and you look for some sweetening in alcohol, drugs, etc. In a way, these are artificial limitations. To go to a monastery is also a good example. It is a running away of life. For not to limit oneself, but because we don't want to limit ourselves, don't make tzimtzum, we feel miserable, and this is mainly due to the egoistic receiving. When we once know the strength of the masach, it becomes different. Every morning when I wake up, I have to face my masach. And masach means the measure wherein I can receive or yashar. Although your or yashar keeps pushing now. I know I'm not capable to receive all the light. It is my shortness. Therefore I try in every action to multiply the kavanah. So I will be capable to receive the light for it to come closer to my fulfillment. Now you see why there's such an enormous pressure when you start learning Kabbalah. You can't stop, you can't run away, and you know this is wonderful because now you're going to build up other kinds of masachim, the plural of masach. You build up a higher masach in which you come in agreement, and the consequences you feel less light outside of you. The light above you becomes less, and accordingly you suffer less. There is less suffering in the not receiving because now you receive more. This is Kabbalah, less or remains. But what stays is more concentrated. It is specific for your soul. The light is in conformity with the light, therefore you feel less pressure. When you experience pressure, it is because you can't receive, and you can't receive because you haven't been corrected. This is what is going to happen. First there is the light, or coming against your masach. And the masach is there because of the tzimtzum you have made. You are the only one who reflects the light. Reflecting means you feel. You feel the strength of the light, but you don't let it enter because now you know you haven't the strength for to let the light come in. And to know you have no strength for to let the light come in is the first stage named tzimtzum. It is hard to understand. The light wants us to give pleasure, wants us to fill with his light completely till eternity. It is up to us to come in conformity with him, with his qualities. And the making of the Tzimtzum is the first step. It is the first stage of correction, although temporarily because I lack the strength yet. And while I'm doing this experience pleasure, not the pleasure of the receiving of Or Yashar, it isn't different. It is different. Or Yashar is direct pleasure, a very strong pleasure. It is the pleasure for to feel oneself alive. And each one of us receive from this Or Yashar. Or Yashar is an expression of how the light is coming to us, namely in a direct way, from above to below. But no explanation about his quality, or Chokhmah is quality. Or Yashar is in quality, or Chokhmah, and Chokhmah is wisdom, is Or of life. Or Chokhmah is very strong, is very powerful. Within Or Chokhmah is Or Yashar. And we can't receive this light in its pure form, therefore we have to make Tzimtzum. Tzimtzum means I reflect a little bit of Or Yashar, and the reflecting light is Or Chozer. Or Chozer therefore means reflecting light. And when there is Or Chozer, it means you have used from within the strength for not to receive Or Yashar. It is known to you the creation is created to enjoy, for to feel pleasure. Now you know Or Chozer is a reaction on Or Yashar. Or Yashar, the direct light, and comes from above to below. And in quality, it is Or Chokhmah, the light of wisdom. And Or Chozer is reflecting light coming from below to above. And in quality, it is Or Chasadim. Or Chokhmah comes from the above to below. This is the light we have to receive, the light that penetrates us. And Or Chasadim is also from the Creator. In this we see the Kli, the movement of Boreh with the intention, Kavanah. In a way, we can replace the word Kavanah with the word Or Chozer. Kavanah is the intention for to give, and in a way, Tzimtzum is an act of giving. You give, but what do you give? You don't give anything because you want to come in conformity with light, with Boreh, with this quality. Therefore, you don't receive. And this not receiving is as giving. Your refusing is as giving for the light, only temporarily because it is his intention we should receive. It is our wish to receive. We are created with the wish to receive. We have to receive. We are made in this way, but we lack the strength for the real pleasure. Therefore, we have to reflect Or Yashar. And later, when we have built up the right intention, the intention for to give, then we can and may receive. But it has to be accompanied by the intention for to give, just as the story of the host and the guest. Or Chasadim is a light of mercy, and within Or Chasadim we have an enormous pleasure. I experience pleasure from the giving. There are a lot of people, even in this material world, who enjoy giving. You and me enjoy the aspect of giving. All of us experience the pleasure in giving, but it is very important for you to know how you give. You have to be very alert in the aspect of giving. I can give someone a present, a very expensive present, but what is my intention? Do I want in return to receive the pleasure because I have given such an expensive present? Or maybe he is such an important person, I have to give him a precious present. Why? It is my egoistic wish to give. This expensive present, the price is so high, I need the pleasure because it was so expensive. Always be very alert in this. How do I give? Or how do you give? Is your giving because you want to give? Only then it will be a real present, even for you. Only then you can receive Or Chasadim. This is the way for to give. When you give and receive pleasure, an egoistic pleasure, only for it to show others how good you are, disappointment will be the outcome. And not only disappointment, you bring yourself to a lower degree. You lower yourself and you have to do extra work for it to come again to the step where you once were. Refer to drawing 16 in the written material, and this is describing from the Ein Sof comes light directly to the creatures. This light is named Or Yashar, the direct light. This is a singular light. What does this mean, singular? It is one light, not a completion of billions separately sparkles, tastes. In a way, there are never separately tastes in the light. It is the user who gives the taste, Kli. by way of his personal qualities, depending on the fact how his Kli can embed this incoming light by way of his willpower, or choser, only in the same measure he can come to the understanding, the feeling of the direct light. Or choser is in a way the true embedding of a Kli on the light of Boreh. And when this or choser embeds the incoming light, they become one. And within this embedding of or choser, the bound between the bound between Kli and Or becomes real. Of course, this bond depends on what Boreh gives at the creation, Kli, how the light builds up the Kli, the Malchut, in what way forms the Malchut and the Masach. Refer to the schematic below and further explanations of Masach and Kli.